Okay, for this reading log, you need to be 2/6 of the way done with your book. And for those of you who have fraction reactions, that also could be reduced to 1/3. So take your book, divide it by 3. Are you there yet? If not, keep reading. If you are, carry on. Here's how we do this one. So this one, the rubric is exactly the same. The rubric says that you need to include a summary that I can understand in the content of text portion. You need to have at least one piece of direct evidence in your strategy explanation. You need to have an explanation of what you did for the strategy, and you have an explanation of how this strategy helped you understand the text. So in order to do that, what you need to do is something like the following. Under the content of text, I'm using all summer and a day for this one. I'm working with making connections. Making connections is when something in the story reminds you of anything, and this could be literally anything that's not in the story. So it's a connection you make between the text and anything else. It could be another book, it could be another movie, it could be a song, it could be something you overheard someone talking about. It could be something in the news, it could be something in your life. Literally anything, as long as it's not in the book, is okay in terms of writing about how your brain made a connection to it. Think back as you were reading. What things did your brain make a connection to as you were reading? Did a character do something that reminded you of something? Was there a setting or a place that reminded you of a place you've been or want to go? Was there something about the story that reminded you of another story or another book? Any of these things would be great. The idea is that as a good reader, your brain is making connections all the time. And one reason your brain makes connections all the time is to take information you already have and try to use that information you already have about the world around you to help you make sense out of the new information you're getting out of the book. So when we start the summary, remember that our summary, we want to be just the part of the story that's going to lead us to the strategy. Not summarizing the whole book so far at all, just summarizing the part of the story that leads us to the strategy we're writing about. So here's my summary. In the short story, All Summer and a Day by Ray Bradbury, a girl named Margot, who is living and going to school on the planet Venus. So I've given lots of details about the setting. I've given details about the character. I've given details about what the character is doing. This would help a reader who hasn't read the story, also me when I'm reading yours, not understand what's going on. So the planet Venus, where it rains for 7 years at a time, gets locked in a closet by her classmates, just as the sun is about to come out. She gets left there until the rain starts again. Her classmates lock her in the closet because they are jealous of her previous life on Earth and the possibility that her parents might move her back to Earth. So I got to think about, as I read this, what's a connection that I made? And it's going to sound a little messed up at first, but it reminded me of my daughter. It reminded me of my daughter, though, when she plays hide and seek and she goes and hides in a closet. She'll go hide in this like crazy closet, like my in-laws' house, like their food pantry. I can't believe there's any room for her there. And she'll like go stuff herself in it and close the door. I know where she's at the whole time. She's not very good at hide and seek, don't worry. But that being said, this is a connection I made. So when I wrote about that, I got to start with my text evidence, or at some point put my text evidence in there. So I said, in the text, when Margot got locked in the closet, her classmates heard her beating and throwing herself against the closet door. When I read this, my brain made a connection to when my daughter plays hide and seek and will shut herself in a closet and be super committed to hiding and not making noise for at least a few minutes, which is a long time for my child to not make noise. Oh, which isn't pretty intense for a 2-year-old. I guess I already wrote that. I think. Then I got to go on. How did that strategy help me better understand the text? So how did that lead me to a better understanding of the text? And here's what I said. Making this connection helped me better connect to the text because Margot is somebody's daughter. The text even talks about her having parents who might take her back to Earth. And the thought of someone locking my daughter in a closet for 1 hour while the sun comes out in the last 7 years, or for any other reason, makes me feel both sick and like raging on whoever would do such a thing. Not so much the kids personally, although they're totally to blame, but perhaps their teacher for leaving the kids alone long enough to push a kid down a hall and lock her in a closet. And I suppose also not notice when that kid didn't show up outside. So that's how you do making connections. Any connection you want from a book to anything else in the entire world, how did that help you understand the story?